This is the plaintiff, Frankie Martinez. He says he pawned a valuable gold coin and necklace at the defendant's shop, and the guy sold his stuff off without his permission. He's supposed to be given proper notice before his items are sold. The defendant didn't, and he's here suing for the $5,825 he's now owed. This is the defendant, Robert Santos. He says the plaintiff had a certain amount of time to pay off his loan, and if he doesn't, he has the right to sell the stuff or melt it down. He sent the plaintiff the proper notice. The guy never came back to his shop, and he owes him nothing. He's accused of giving it all away.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says that he pawned a valuable necklace and coins at the defendant's shop, and the guy sold the items, and he says that is against the law. But the defendant says the plaintiff had ample time to pay off his debt. He didn't, and he melted the stuff down. It's the case of meltdown at the pawn shop.
Thank you, Douglas. All right, Mr. Martinez, you are suing Easy Pawn Corporation, represented here by Mr. Santos, for $5,825 that you say you are owed from them because they didn't follow proper procedure. Talk to me. Tell me what happened.
Okay, I'm going to start by saying 2019, I was in a car accident. I had subdural hematoma, and I'm not good with dates, but I have to look at the paperwork to see the dates. I can't memorize them off my mind.
That's all right.
Because like I said, I had subdural hematoma. But what happened was I've been pawning since 1984, 85. I started in Manhattan on 9th Avenue and 33rd Street. And when I moved to Queens, I seen that place go up. And I said, wow, they're close to me now. It's easier for me to pawn because, I don't have to go to a loan shop.
How often do you pawn?
I pawn when I need to pay
How
bills.
many times a year do you think?
Maybe 2-3 times a year, maybe if I have to.
Okay. Had you done business with the defendant before?
Yeah, I've done business with them many times, like
What's
a couple
many?
of years.
What's many?
Like 2 years, 2 or 3 years.
How many times? Can you estimate how many times that would have been?
10 to 15 times.
Okay, it's a little more than twice a year. All right, so in any event, you've never had a problem. You had a good relationship, and then what happens?
Okay, then what happens? I divorced my wife, and I moved to Sunnyside, and there was a store in the corner on 46 across from T-Mobile, and I didn't know what was going up, and I saw it was Easy Pawn, and I said, wow, the location is close to me.
Okay,
like
so
3
tell me
blocks
what
away
you
from me.
pawned that they sold.
Okay.
Tell me about this case.
I pawned a Mexican coin, which I actually went out and purchased another one.
Can I
2
ask you a
weeks ago.
question? Do you have any evidence that you pawned a Mexican coin with them?
The receipt, I don't have it, but I have.
They don't have any record of you pawning a Mexican coin with them.
Of course, they're gonna say that.
Right, and
Yeah.
the way you battle someone lying is you show me proof that you pawned something with them that was a Mexican coin. Do you have the
Okay.
proof that you pawned a Mexican coin with them?
Yeah, 1 second. Right here, I have. Not email. I messaged the receipts and the numbers of the coins.
Okay.
And
Mr.
the numbers of the
Martinez, I
receipts.
looked through all
Yes.
the evidence before coming out here, and I saw
Right.
receipts for coins you've purchased to replace the coin you're complaining about. I need to see the piece of paper that shows that you gave them the Mexican coin, because watch this. Mr. Santos, do you have any evidence that he pawned a Mexican coin?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
All right, so when you say, of course they're going to say that, well, yeah, but you're the guy that's got to prove you pawned it. So do you have
exactly?
Do you have that proof?
Well, no, I don't have the exact proof of that at this time. No.
The exact proof is what I would need. I would need to show.
Right.
I would need proof that you gave them a Mexican coin worth $4,000. That is the bulk of your lawsuit. Now let's talk about the Cuban link chain. That's a specific name. Cuban link is a specific name for those heavy gold chains.
Cubana.
Yep. So
Yeah,
it's
I have-
$1,825, and that you do have the proof of pawn for, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Yes,
let's
I
take a
do.
look at that.
I purchased it from them on a layaway plan.
Oh, you actually
have-
purchased that from them.
Right.
Right.
And then I pawned it to them.
Yeah.
And then they never sent me any receipts telling me to come get it. And I lost it.
Okay, so this is the pawn receipt for the Cuban link chain, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so they loan you, the way it works is, I guess because you don't have traditional means of getting a loan to pay your bills, you are willing to pay them 65% annual percentage rate. And
Of
you
course.
get this from them, and then you pay them a princely sum, and then you get it back. But you're serving a need. I don't mean to sound like you're Mr. Santos, like there are some people who can't get money otherwise to pay their bills. So this is how you did it. $1,825
Yes.
was due in 4 months from the date you gave it in. And the due
Right.
date is right on this form. It's October 14th. So that tells you when you need to go and pay not just the $1,500 that they just gave you, but also the $325 finance charge.
Exactly.
Right.
Your
So
Honor,
did you go on October 14th and pay that?
No, I did not go. But there is, I also sent you a last notice that Easy Pawn sends, as it says, last notice that's supposed to be printed out by their computers. It gives you the ticket number, description of items.
Okay.
So why
and he
didn't
makes
I
a
get
point. He makes a point, Mr. Santos. He wants to be reminded of what is already on this piece of paper. And that may sound like, well, why don't you just read your piece of paper? But it happens to be the law that you have to send out certain notices and wait certain times, right? This business is regulated, correct?
Yes, it is. We sent out a notice via U.S. Postal Service directly to him, and on top of sending the notice, what we call the courtesy notice, we also sent him a text message as well. So I mean, we definitely want him to come back for his item, but there's only so much how long we can actually hold on to it.
Okay, so here's the notice that you say you mailed to him,
That's it. Yes.
which has a date of 10/23, saying your item's going to be sold at auction on 12/9, so hurry it up. And it says due date 10/14. And you've also provided proof that it was mailed.
Yep.
All right, so he's showing me that he did mail you the notice. Now, did you guys also text him?
We also text him. Yeah, we text him on January 21st.
So according to them, they also texted you. Is that your number, Mr. Martinez?
Yes, it is.
According to them, they texted you on 1/21 at 10:38. That's way later. That's in January?
Yeah, January.
To remind you, so they still hadn't sold it. Let me ask you a question. If you know it's due in October, you don't go in October, November, December. It's now January, and they're texting you, telling you to come pick it up. What did they do wrong? Why weren't you there all those months?
Because I rely on the final
Well, what
receipt,
happens if
which
you
is-
overlook the notice? Because I just saw that they mailed you a notice. They have proof of mailing you a notice. And they
But
say they
I did
texted
that.
you, which a law doesn't require. They actually texted you because you're a good customer and they want you to stay there. What else do they have to do? Go to your house and wake you up? I mean,
No, they don't. I never received the notice, number one. And the text.
they just have to prove they mailed it, and they've proven that. What about that text?
So the U.S. Postal Service never put it in my mailbox.
That's not what the law
never got
requires.
it
The
in
law
my
requires
mailbox.
they mail it. The law requires they mail it, and he has
Okay.
proof of mailing it. But on top of that, we're not talking about the guy selling your prized possession a day after your due date. We're talking about 4 months later. Okay, and it sounds like you do this regularly, so you should have a system of being on top of it, frankly. And he's showing me all the law requires is that he sends you a notice. And I see that he sent you a notice, but I also see in his system that he sent you a text. What happened with that?
Welcome back to the People's Court. So the question, did the defendant do everything by the book, or is the plaintiff entitled to $6,000? Let's go back inside the courtroom and find out.
With the text, they never sent text. This is something new that just came out. And number one, I'm not tech savvy.
Okay.
I'm not computer savvy. So when I wake up in the morning, I don't look at my texts, my emails every day.
If you're not tech savvy, I'm sorry, but that text is actually gratuitous because he doesn't have to do that. All he has to do to comply with the law is send you the notice. I find that he sent you the notice, and I'm ruling in favor of the defendant in this case.
Tough lesson for the plaintiff. The judge finds against him on this. He's not going to get the money. So what do you think about the judge's verdict?
Look, I am very happy. My purpose was to expose that pawn shops do crooked things. Like they say they mail this, they do this, and they can do whatever they want. They have jewelry stores underneath the store. They can change your diamonds. They can scrape your gold. There's many schemes that they have. And unfortunately, I didn't have the proper things, but I am a person that is not tech savvy. I don't wake up every morning like this new generation. I was born in 1963. So when I went to school, grammar school and junior high school, there weren't computers. And I never learned how to use computers.
You don't need a computer to write down the date that the payment is due. You could have put that on a calendar. You knew when you pawned it, the date the money was due to them. You knew that up front.
Right, but life is a busy life. Sometimes you forget. Sometimes you make mistakes. And,
you forgot this time.
And you expect that final notice to come to your mail. If the post office didn't put it in my box, if he would have put it in my box, I would have made arrangements to go get it. That's it. Thank you. I'm exposing that. And these pawn shops, they're like lawn sharks, but they don't break your legs.
Why do you pawn so often? Why do you pawn so much then? If they can,
because I'm a poor man.
It's easy for them to rip you off.
Yeah, because I'm a poor man, and you know what? And this is I have poor credit, and these are the reasons why I do that. So I can pay my bills and I don't have to rob anybody. You understand?
Right.
For my money.
Well, I'm sorry for you. I understand. I understand. And I'm sorry for you, but
I knew this was going to happen, but it's an exposure to this scheme, okay? I want the world to know. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, but in all honesty, these guys proved they did the right thing and did mail you the
because the computers can generate anything they want.
Listen, it's over, sir. I'm sorry. The case is over and you lost. So let me talk to Mr. Santos.
Sorry, but I'm telling you, the computers could regenerate anything they want. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Very good. Mr. Santos, number one, your reaction to the outcome of the case. Were you worried you were going to have to pay them? Or not?
I wasn't worried. We knew what we did. We've been in business for 20 years. So we're not here to cheat anybody. You know, it's really considered a short-term loan. We don't really, that's really what we're in business for. We tried to reach out to him. We went above and beyond. And I mean, what he's saying is it's just not true.
All right, very good. You know, a lot of people don't understand about pawning and what the advantage. And very quickly, what would you say the big advantage of pawning is?
It's really it's generally for people who don't have credit and need access to money to pay their bills. Let's say they're short on cash and they have to pay their light bill, they have to pay their electric bill. It's short term. That's the advantage. We don't need to run your credit. You come in with collateral, jewelry, mainly jewelry, and you walk out with money and you can pay your bills. Really, that's the advantage.
That's what it's all about. All righty.
Yeah.
Well, the judge said you did the right thing, so congratulations, you're off the hook. Harvey, what are your thoughts?
Okay, there are tons of rules and regulations and laws about how pawn shops have to work with customers. This varies from state to state. In this case, all of the regulations, all of the rules were followed, so the pawn shop did nothing wrong and the plaintiff lost. However, you shouldn't just assume that these rules apply in your state. You got to look online under pawn shops and the law in terms of when a pawn shop is able to sell an item, because it does vary from state to state. Check online, you'll know the rules.
A viewer asks, I'm from Miami too. What high school did you go to? I went to North Miami Beach.
I went to St. Brendan's High School. And we were actually part of the first graduating class. And it was right next to an all-boys school called Christopher Columbus. So there were, when we opened up the school, there were probably 5 girls to every 1 boy.
The boys,
because most boys all went to Christopher Columbus.
Did they make a hole in the fence?
They did. They made a hole in the fence, and Father Dennehy did not take kindly to it.
What was your school mascot?
A saber.
The Sabres?
Yes. So it was like a saber-toothed tiger or the sword with both of them.
Got you. Well, I
actually helped write. I co-authored the alma mater of the school.
Oh, okay. Very good.
With a friend of mine.
Okay, well, as you know, I went to public schools my whole life, and I actually graduated from Orchard Park High School, where our mascot was the Quakers, the mighty Quakers, which is kind of contradictory because Quakers are pacifists, and it's like saying the fighting ballerinas or something. You know? was our mascot. So, but we had some good teams and had some good athletes, so it was fun.